Okay, so by now you should know how to take the dome off, so I'm not going to go over that. But what we're going to be doing is there's four, you kind of see 1, 2, 3, the 4 corners here. You're going to be going in here and taking those screws out, and then that's what holds this top piece from where the motor is on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I took those screws out, and then this is gonna, what you're gonna want to do is kind of hold it underneath here, and it's gonna be hard for me to do it too with only one hand, but this is gonna come up. Oops, see, it'll fall out otherwise. So you're gonna have this part. This is the part that's the problem here. Well, sort of. All right, and then so this actually is the problem part right here. This one here, this black piece. That's what we're gonna be taking out. There's 3 screws, one on either side, one in the middle. I already took it out on this one, but to get it off of this piece, you just got to take that middle one out, and we'll go ahead and do that. All right, so if you take out the other 2 screws, that's what holds this little metal piece in. You're gonna need that. This part, you're not gonna need anymore. You're gonna be replacing it with the new part, which I have right here. You're gonna be replacing it with this guy. So same thing, metal plate's gonna go in here, screw it in with those 2 screws, and then screw it back onto the motor with the middle one. Same screws, same metal plate. So I got that on there, screwed it onto the middle. I've got, with this part kind of facing this way, facing the front long ways, and then line it up so it looks pretty straight. I don't know if that mine's a little bit off, but try to get them straight. And then all I'm gonna do is put this back under here. I'm gonna need my other hand to finish this, but this back under here, and then put the other part back on and put those 4 screws in, and then you should be good there. Okay, I got it all put back together now. One thing I wanted to point out, this hole right here should be at the front, and I don't know if it matters much. I chose to not use that hole when I tighten that wing nut back on, because it'll just tighten up against that groove there, and to me that feels like that makes the dome a little bit tighter on there than kind of going in that hole, because I don't know if it actually threads in that hole or if it just goes in that hole. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. You can put it back the way that it was supposed to be, probably, and that's probably the way it should be. But I just want to point that out. Anyway, I put those 4 screws back on there. This should be good to go. When I put this back together with the bottom, you should feel it's a lot more snug than when you took the other piece off. So that's a good sign. All right, that's pretty much it. There you go. No more shakies. He still stutters a little bit, but I don't think that's gonna be anything that we can easily fix. That might be a motor power issue. I don't know, but there you go. Okay, thanks, R2.